Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I am currently here in Alba Iulia, Romania, at the south gate of the Roman castrum, which was a former fortress of the Roman Empire in this part of Eastern Europe. As y'all can see, I'm inside a museum right now. It's an excavation where some of these slumps of concrete were actually dug out by their local archaeologists here in Alba Iulia, Romania. It's a hidden gem, especially if you've never heard of the country itself and you've never been to this part of the world. It is definitely worth coming out to, especially if you would like to learn about the ties between the Romanians and the Dacians, or Romans and the Dacian populations. With that said, I'm going to try to walk around for a little bit and show you what it looks like here in Principia. That's the name of the museum, Principia, in Alba Iulia. So thanks for joining me. Please make sure to like us and subscribe to our YouTube TV channel, and like us on Facebook. Tell your friends about some of the things that we are endorsing today that weren't available in the past. This is the very first time that, in human history where we can showcase tourist destination throughout the world using our social media platforms. With that said, thanks for joining me. My name is Alba with the Face Economics TV channel. Looking forward to connecting with you. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment at the bottom section of this video. We're also going to be adding the description and the link to this channel at the bottom, so you will see what it all looks like on their website and also their Facebook page. But as I was saying, these were all dug out from their excavation of this Roman fortress several years ago. And it is fascinating. It feels like we're actually in Rome or somewhere where this type of architecture is abundant. With that said, thanks for joining me. I look forward to talking and connecting with you should you have any other questions regarding our tour here in Alba Iulia at the Principia Museum, which is at the south gate of the Roman castrum. This is the most visible trace of Apulum castrum that were a part of the Roman colony back in the day. So it is amazing. Who would have thought that you would come across 100%, Roman developed and designed system of architecture in this part of the world. With this said, we're going to try to float around for a little bit so you can see the really interesting materials that are available in this part of the world. Okay, so check that out. All this are pretty easy to get access to. And they actually have an airport that you can just, fly in from Bucharest. The curator is so amazing. She's well, versed with the history of this area and the excavations, the digs that happened. You see all the excavations that took place in this one building alone is just so fascinating. You know what? It reminds me when I was back in Western Europe, they would have these well-preserved Roman fortresses, and now it's starting to show in Eastern Europe, especially here in Romania, which a lot of Romanians actually have lineage to Rome. Their ancestor came from the Roman Empire when they intermarried with the Dacians. So check that out. Make sure to tell your friends and family about this gem of a place to visit because it's never been explored in the past history of this country. Now everything's opening up, and we want to let the whole world know about the things that they can discover in this medieval town of Alba Iulia. And you know what? Every time that people shows up to Western Europe, they tend to compare, the ambience of Western European type of discoveries, archaeological dig, with Greece or Rome. It definitely has that feel here as if you're in that part of the world. And like I said, this is a fairly new dig. They've just opened up this museum just a couple years ago. And if you can see, they're actually digging more, right? So who knows what else they will end up finding here. But as I mentioned, it's definitely worth the visit. Even some of these, water system that connects outside with the bigger canal system is just amazing to watch, just to look at and kind of, compare the new evolution of the archaeological world. Social media have definitely created, a new way to influence the world, especially the realm of history, arts, and sciences. And with that said, all these are very new in terms of things to explore and kind of consider when you're traveling and exploring the world. I'm definitely not, trying to discourage you guys from visiting Western European countries that have these sorts of, architectures and historical connections with the Roman and Greek empires. But make sure to also understand that there isn't a centralized location for these things. They're actually now becoming more prevalent in emerging and frontier markets around Central and Eastern Europe. So you're actually going to get exposed to things that weren't available, before to the rest of the world. And we're sharing it through our platform on social media just because for the sole fact that everything can now be accessed using YouTube or Facebook. But as you all can see, these are all original pieces of a civilization, a Roman civilization that very few people have had the chance to experience and observe close up front and personal. So, and look at how my proximity is to this thing. I'm so close to it that you can touch it. I wouldn't recommend you touching it because you're not allowed to touch these things. But the proximity to these, treasures of history in these new emerging markets of Central and Eastern Europe are just so fascinating. Look at that. So well preserved. Everything is, as if you're reading an encyclopedia, except it's so immersive. And I would imagine eventually this museum is going to be more developed to become like an artificial intelligence or, an Internet of Things type of museum, so people can get access to it from around the world. With that said, thanks for watching us. Make sure to like us on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Face Economics TV, the utilization of the social media platform in economic development worldwide. And there you go. Who would have thought that anyone would just have this kind of opportunity? It doesn't matter what part of the world you're from. Even you're from, Europe, Africa, Asia, South America. History is relevant to everyone. And this in itself is well preserved in this museum, right? So in the past, unfortunately, you know, when societies were closed off from the rest of the world, then that society that had been closed off and the outside world were limited on, you know, having an engagement, a cultural and educational engagement. That was in the past. Today, we're talking about social media. We're talking about the use of the platform to promote tourism, promote history, economic development worldwide. With that said, thanks for joining me. I'm going to be signing off for now. You know, please continue to follow us on YouTube and Facebook, and we will continue to share with you things that we uncover, you know, around the world that weren't available in the past just because of, you know, societal issues and political instabilities in those countries that won't give other people opportunities to learn and explore their culture if they're, you know, foreign to that part of the world. But Romania is opening up, as y'all can see, and Romania wants tourism. Romania wants people to learn about, you know, their history and the beautiful culture that Romania has to offer to the world. With that said, thanks for joining me. I look forward to connecting with you again. Happy holidays. Bye.